It's on already, bro? Or
Oh,
all right.
now we're good. Now we're good. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, peace, 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 everyone. It's been a long time, but yeah, we're back on. Brandon Bass, Dr. Bass, the G. Yeah, hosting this one. And yeah, what can I say? It's definitely a pleasure. I mean, even though we've been keeping contact, but it's a pleasure seeing you again, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely. Seeing you like through the screen too, not just like
Yeah,
through like text and stuff like that.
yeah, good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Either way, bro. Yeah, since we're back, and yeah, I wish nobody. I mean, I wish everyone, of course, the very best, and that everyone just keeps growing and they keep elevating themselves, and that they've really taken the time, as what Soluminati, shout out to him, as he perfectly put it. I really wish that y'all have been taking good care of y'all selves, like yeah, don't look at me like some celebrity, like me of all people. I'm definitely not a celebrity, but yeah, I just wish everybody's taking good care of themselves and that y'all are elevating, y'all are growing into the best versions of yourselves day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute, second by second, and yeah, it's all about returning to who it is we truly are, brother.
Oh yeah, that's definitely like the time to do it today, like nowadays, because like with everything that's going on the outside world, it's all like distractions and trying to like distract you to from like your inner power and your inner self. So like it's always good to like reconnect with yourself to really know who you are instead of like those images or portraying something as something that you're not because of other people's ideas of yourself and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We, as I've heard, and honestly, I couldn't have worded it better myself. Like how you usually, through the spirit, how you usually tend to quote some things that I myself wouldn't have even thought of in a million years, bro. Like, yeah, like, I've heard, and it makes so much sense. If you're not creating your own narrative, somebody's gonna create it for you. And honestly, considering for how long we've been living in other people's narrative, it's time to cut the nonsense because yeah, we're living in an age now where honestly energy is flowing, is literally hitting this realm, this planet, like we haven't seen in a long time, and this is the time to really get back to who it is we truly are, as you've said. And yeah, it's about time to literally stop using or stop allowing other people to tell us how it is we got to live our lives because they've got their own problems to deal with. They've got their own trials and tribulations. Why don't they focus on themselves, you know? And we focus on ourselves. Like, honestly, I just can't word it any better than that, bro. Whoever feels hurt by that, yeah, you got some inner work to do. That's all I got to say.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to be like the pen when you're writing your own story, and because like a lot of people like I just been noticing like just like gossip about other people and just try to influence and like put their own belief systems on other people and everything like that. And then like if you're not consciously aware of it, you can like easily get manipulated through those belief systems, and then you start tagging on those same tactics because like the closest people like you're around, you know, can influence you easily because you're always around them. So it's definitely like just being more aware of like yourself and like seeing how people will try to throw you off sometimes, you know.
Yeah, like honestly, what you're saying here is really more of a reminder than it is advice because I've literally like been through it all. I've literally been through it all, and honestly speaking, bro, it's not a pleasant experience to be allowing people, even those who you've grown up with, who you literally yeah, who've been in your life for pretty much all of your current incarnation. And yeah, it's definitely, I mean, no hate against them, but people need to realize that when the truth really starts coming out, because shout outs to Tariq Bey, to brother Tariq Bey on that. There's only one truth. There's only one truth, but motherfuckers making it look like as if, yeah, it's multiple truths like these damn religions, especially Christianity. You got Protestantism, you got Baptists, you got Methodists, you got Seventh Day Adventists. Like, holy cow. How many fucking truths does the universe have to freaking share with people, man? I'm like, there's only one truth. It's only one freaking truth. And don't even get me started with Islam and Judaism and all these silly ass religions that only popped up, what, 2,000 cycles ago or some shit? And for those who don't know, cycles are years because think about it. We always go through those cycles of winter, spring, summer, fall. It's all a cycle. Like, think about it. We used to live for hundreds, if not thousands of years within these physical bodies. Although, shout out to Bobby Hemmett, because Earth back then, Kai, the planet that we're on back like now, it was a completely different realm back then. So we really can't look at the past with modern eyes. But either way, yeah, these silly ass religions, they make it look like as if there's multiple truths. No, there's only one truth. And I love to break it to the Christians because they're really too deeply implanted into the psychosis. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, y'all need to really expand your minds. We're living in an age where information is flowing so abundantly. Like, there's so much information. And why are you motherfuckers possibly? How could you even? I can't even fathom how could people just give up their own power unto an entity that not only doesn't exist, but for the entity that does substitute their Jesus or Yahweh or Jehovah, this entity wants you to stay in ignorance, wants you to remain infantile in your way of thinking, wants you to remain in kindergarten and play school. Like, bro, I'm gonna turn it back to you because you get what it is I'm saying. For those who don't comprehend, you could tell them what it is I just said because honestly, people need to expand their minds.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like since like mm, and then that's how they try to like trick people with like the multiple truths out there. So like when people try to like research everything like that, then they be like, oh, they say this, oh, but this person says this, and then everything like that. So now people who try to search for the truth is just bombarded with all these multiple truths that they kind of don't know the real truth and kind of like just sleep back into those like belief systems and everything like that. So that's why they haven't tried to like reach out and like actually know and find the real truth out there. And then for like the giving up your power is just like, why give up your power and just to an entity that you haven't even met, haven't even had interaction with, or like you can like believe in your mind, but they already control people's minds because of the prison state as well. So it's like, I don't know. Why not feel confident within yourself? Why not feel powerful? Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, when people see people who's really like confident, they be like, oh, he's conceited, or he's too full of himself, or she's too full of herself and stuff like that. It's just like, well, if they haven't made that connection with themselves or they don't really know who they truly are, then of course they'll view it as that. But it's just us expressing confidence because we already know who we truly are.
Yeah, well said, bro. Well said. Like, I mean, yeah, well said, brother. I honestly, once again, shout outs to you. I couldn't have worded it better myself because I really don't mean to sound verbose, so I really just don't want to sound like a broken record player or a tape recorder or anything like that. But people need to learn to do their own research. There's so much information on the internet alone that people can research if they dig deep and see things for what they really are. Because first of all, shout out to Bobby Hemmett again. He who only knows one book knows none. These Christians, right? If you could really see these people don't never even wrote, they never even read their Bible. Because if they really read their Bible, I could assure you 110%, my brother, these churches would not be standing. They would have took these churches and converted them into, I don't know, a strip club or a nightclub or something. Because bro, I'm telling you, these churches mean not a goddamn thing. These churches are just indoctrination camps, just like the freaking schools. Indoctrination camps. All they do is they keep you in that infantile state. As an individual incarnates, they come into the physical realm for the first time. they forget who it is they are because yeah, you could look into ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, like these civilizations, they knew about reincarnation and coming back into the physical realm and when you're trapped in the physical realm and all that stuff. Like people could simply do their research on that. But suffice it to say, they knew that it should be one's main goal to not only achieve godhood, but to ensure that they surpass this physical realm. Because even though the energies and vibrations were way higher thousands of cycles ago, even just hundreds of cycles ago, the vibrations were way higher. But we know for a fact that based off of all the information our ancestors left behind for us, it is our duty to experience the physical realm when we come into it. But we don't want to keep ourselves within a prison because the way the system is, like, and I'm just making comparisons, bro. I'm just making comparisons. The system, how it is now, is complete prison mode. You could just look at the last 2 years with stupid 19, so called COVID 19. Like, yeah, I could just look back at it and see what an absolute fuckfest the last 2 years were, man. I mean, like, holy shit. Face diapers? Socially, what the hell is social distance? How can you be social and distance yourself from someone? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's an oxymoron in and of itself. Shout out to the individuals who literally reveal that. Shout outs to them because it makes no sense. You can't be social and distant yourself at the same time. It's either you're social or you isolate yourself. Plain and simple. And to see how these motherfuckers have taken advantage of the stupidity of people. Because what happens when we incarnate into this world, which already is built upon 7 pillars? What are those 7 pillars again? Entertainment, government, which is at the top, because if the head of the body is sick, then there's no way the rest of the body can be healthy. Plain and simple. So you got government, you got entertainment, you got education, you got religion, you've got what else? Social services, and there are two others. But suffice it to say, people can just do the research and look up the 7 pillars of society. I already mentioned 5 of them. I can't remember what the other 2 are, but suffice it to say that yeah, this whole society is built upon 7 pillars of absolute fuckery. Plain and simple. There's just no better way I can put it. And that's just on the mundane level. Now, when we get to the spiritual level, but yeah, shout out to Dr. Mumbi on that. The only way our people are really going to, or rather the people who look like us, because not all kinfolk are kinfolk, you know what I'm saying? People could talk shit about white people or Arabs or so-called Asians and Indians all they want. It be our own people who really be pushing their bullshit because these people, they have way more important things to focus on. So yeah, these black preachers and pastors, oh boy, if only they knew the judgment that's going to come upon them because of all the lies that they've been preaching and they continue to preach while they bow down to the Pope. They bow down to these motherfuckers, taking an oath with them. And shout out to Brother Tariq Bey on that, taking an oath with these dog ass bitches to keep our own spiritual sciences away from us. Reincarnation, it's real. Christianity is the only freaking religion. Do your research. It's the only freaking religion that teaches eternal suffering to the spirit when the spirit can't even feel pain. Bro, I give it back to you for now because, like, goodness gracious, this is an infantile fucking system, man. Jeez.
Yeah, man. I just looked up the 7 pillars. It was media, celebration, family, government, economics, religion, and education. And then like for like the book statement, like we all know like people really don't be reading. Like the only thing that they be reading is really when they in school. But outside of school, they just don't be reading. They just watch TV all day, all night, just brainwash their minds and not really think about anything else. And then for like the schools, yeah, the schools is just like they just talk about nothing. They just really don't talk about.
Indoctrination camps, bro. Indoctrination camps. You want to know how people end up remaining childish in their minds throughout their entire incarnations? Yeah, these schools are the major culprits. And It's sad, man. It's sad.
And then like why give up your child to someone that you don't even know for them to teach them for like 6 to 8 hours? And like it really doesn't even make any sense. Like they're just poisoning people's minds and everything. And don't even get me started with like the government. Like you just like signing your kids away and everything like that. Now the government property, and then when you get married, then now your whole body is attached to them. It's like, yeah, it's definitely now they got you in a prison in your mind and your body and your spirit and your soul. They just trying to trap all y'all folk at this point. You know what I'm saying?
And you
They
want to
just
know what the sad part is, bro? Yeah, you were saying, bro?
they just like treat us like animals and not even like quote unquote humans. You know? But
From since from going back to transatlantic slave trade times. And again, shout out to Dane Calloway, because if you go on his channel and watch his videos, you could see that the whole transatlantic slave trade is really questionable in and of itself. Because how is it that these people back then could have managed to ship hundreds of people on a boat on ocean currents that were naturally dangerous, with only one or two people manning a ship, to which it wasn't even guaranteed that these motherfuckers could come back on a regular trip. So with hundreds of people on a ship, you move from one side of the world to another on dangerous water currents that have like those, typhoons, like those drains in the water and that kind of stuff. I'm like, so yeah, people really need to start questioning the transatlantic slave trade. But again, go on YouTube and look at Dane Calloway's videos. He's an American brother. Shout out to him. He really put me on that. But really, suffice it to say as well, individuals like Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman, yeah, spoilers, they never existed. hmm Prominent black figures, they never existed. But not to go too far into that, y'all could do your research on that. Mike Maloney of goldsilver.com, shout out to him. He literally put it best, honestly. These government officials, they're celebrities, but unattractive celebrities, ugly ass celebrities. Like, they're freaking gang members. They're no different than the Crips and the Bloods. Because what's so important if Nancy Pelosi and her freaking 80-year-old prune juice drinking ass? Like, what the hell is so important about this bitch? Or Sleepy Joe Biden, his freaking old wrinkly ass. Like, what's so important about these old people who are way past their retirement home days? What's so important about them that they're going to make a deal with China, or like, oh, just a bunch of nonsensical propaganda? Like, what the hell is so important about these people? For fuck's sake. And there's so little of them and so many of people within society. Holy shit. If people were to stop and realize, hey, it's so much of us and so little of these bitches, why the hell don't we all just storm into the freaking government buildings and give these bitches a piece of our mind? Because this system is fucked. This system is stupid. Enough is enough. We had enough of y'all bitches. Like, yeah, I give it back to you, bro. But like, people really need to learn to at least to start thinking for themselves, for goodness sake, for their own sake, for their own well-being.
yeah, they gotta start like actually like thinking outside the box and kind of just not in that like Western society way of like, oh yeah, this is how life should be, or this is how life should always go. Because like as we look at his story, it just keeps repeating itself over and over and over, and then they keep reincarnating, they keep coming back down here, and they still in this prison system. And then for like these celebrities, half of these celebrities all even got like plastic surgery. So once you go down, like actually see all these actually people, they ain't no they ugly on the inside and they ugly on the outside. Not even mentioning that they know how much makeup they be using. And then once they take it
Jeez.
once they take it off, they know
I'm
a
like,
whole different person, bro.
yeah, I'm like, jeez, man. Like these so-called celebrities, and that's That alone should show you how far we've fallen. Because, okay, shout out to brethren like Bobby Hemmett again and Dr. Phil Valentine. Mind you, even when the fall happened, I'm talking about the fall of the gods, the great ones, us. Even when the fall did happen, we were still great, brother. We were still building pyramids and temples and great statues and symbols simply so that we could leave it all behind and we could show those coming after us, hey, even though we created all of this, even though this is all what we're capable of doing and more, we leave it all behind so that y'all could remember, so that y'all could be reminded and see with the first eye and all the spiritual eyes, so that y'all could really tap back into your true self and see that this physical realm is really just an experience in and of itself. It's not the be all end all. Far from the be all end all. Shit. The freaking physical realm as we know it, it literally wasn't even like this thousands of cycles ago. It was literally interphasic. It was literally between physical and spiritual. Yeah, just like the freaking Draco reptilian entities that are manipulating the society behind the shadows. And again, do the research, because you could find it in the Codex Gigas. Yeah, the Codex Gigas. You could research that book and see. You will find a freaking lizard, evil looking lizard entity. Yeah, that's one of the draconian reptilians. These motherfuckers. And the sad part is, bro, we created these motherfuckers. I mean, like, it really goes to show, right? If God was so perfect, if the if the supreme being, if source, whatever you want to call it, was really a perfect entity, why would we have to be going through all this nonsense? If people did not say it, actually, Dr. Phil Valentine said it. Shout out to him. These brethren, they've been sharing the message for years and years, brother. But what happened? So much of our own people were literally too fast asleep. So much of our people were literally too caught up with the kindergarten play school nonsense of, oh, Jesus love me, yes I know, for the no, Jesus don't fucking love you. It even said in the goddamn Bible, God is the God of the living and not the God of the dead. Y'all fucking Christians be singing Jesus hymns and whatnot at funerals. It's so ironic. You could just go on BibleHub.com and literally put in any verse, BibleHub.com. You could research any verse in the freaking Bible, in the many versions of the freaking Bible. And again, so many freaking versions of the Bible in our last live. Yeah, the last live we did months ago, brother. I literally gave a whole list. I shared a whole list of all the Bibles that were written before the goddamn King James Bible. I counted like 16 versions. And within those, each of those 16 versions, there were different versions to each individual one. So which Bible is the truth? Which Bible is the truth? Motherfuckers could literally just take any ancient scripture and literally interpolate it, distort it, and twist it for their own agenda. King James was literally a man with his own freaking agenda. John Wycliffe, he was a man with his own, yeah, John Wycliffe, he was a man with his own freaking agenda. William Tyndale was a man with his own freaking agenda. The Greeks, we just do the research. You could shout out to Real Merkaba on that. You could research the Diadochi Wars and whatnot. Suffice it to say, everybody, all of these motherfuckers from the past had some kind of an agenda. Christianity, Islam, Judaism were all nothing more than military tools used to subdue, take over, and control the minds and lands of individuals. Oh, y'all did not hear that well? Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, which only existed 2,000 cycles ago, give or take. I mean, they tell us they've been around for this long, but they could have been around for shorter. But just because the trauma and the pain and the lies have been like literally they kept stomping them down our throats, brother. Like, goodness gracious, people cannot see that it's all just one big mind control agenda so that motherfuckers can keep reincarnating, forgetting who they are, keep coming back into this freaking realm, can never escape this reincarnation cycle. All ancient civilizations spoke about reincarnating, coming back into this physical realm. But then here you have this dog ass Christianity, and these motherfuckers literally know that there is no such thing as a hell except what you create in the mind. Shout out to the message that you already sent to me, my brother. Hell and heaven are both in the mind. Even their Jesus character literally said, the kingdom of heaven is literally within you. You are the kingdom of heaven because you create the kingdom of heaven. But bro, I pass it back on to you and you can add whatever it is you want. All I have to say is, yeah, people have been fool, and it's really about time that they do their own research, at least listen to old lectures of brethren who have literally been giving the truth for years and years. But most importantly, tap back in within your own true self and literally research, do the research to see how much y'all have been lied to.
Oh yeah, because like people don't like people get caught up of like, oh yeah, heaven and hell is in like a place and I'm going up and I'm going down or whatever. But it's like it's not even like that, because like if you first off, if you don't even have that type of mindset of living in that quote unquote heaven in your mind, then how are you going to heaven after this physical realm? You know what I'm saying? And then for like the Bible with the reincarnation, I feel like that's why all these like pastors, and once you die, these people are singing like hymns and everything, so you can just reincarnate right back. You know what I'm saying? You don't go up, you just stay there. You know what I'm saying? And then for the like, oh yeah, definitely like spiritual force and then the physical. Back then, like it all happened in the spiritual and then had then the physical. But now it's like all the physical then the spiritual. Like people like focus more on the physical than the spiritual nowadays, but back then we was always doing like spiritual then the physical. And then like our ancestors, like the righteous ancestors, they left like messages and like experiences that we can take and learn from. But they had to put it in code so like these dark entities won't like scratch it or like try to take it away or anything like that. So they try to like hide it in the walls or like the pyramids and everything like that. But then they just twist the lie, or twist the truth, and just tell people like a different lie. And then for like people who can talk, but oh yeah, people can say anything about like all these other races and everything like that. But like at the end of the day, if your mind isn't at that type of level, then who really cares about race? Because if your mind isn't there, then what's the point at that point?
Shout out to you on that, brother, because you reminded me of something. Young Pharaoh, shout out to that brother. He literally was one of the first people who put me on to spirituality because, before the whole stupid 19 thing, and which I always got to say, looking back, in one sense, it was complete nonsense, but in another end, it was one of the best things that could have ever happened to us because Stupid 19 was just the wake up call that we needed. It was just the kick in the ass we needed to literally get up out of that sleep and really start to see things for what they really are. Because with this age of Aquarius that's really kicking in with all these new energies literally overflowing on this planet, and by all means, I invoke and evoke a continual overabundance of these energies for real, because motherfuckers need to wake up. But suffice it to say, young Pharaoh was literally one of those few brethren, brother. He literally put me on to so much, right? He literally made me question things. And individuals like that, I more than appreciate them because they're putting themselves on the line, doing things that they shouldn't even be doing, but they're just allowing spirit to literally use their voice so that we can literally get that wake up call to really start to see things or at least question things for why are they like that, like why are things just so messed up, how is it that we were so great back then and we fall into this nonsense, even though, again, like you perfectly put it, and the a point that young Pharaoh made. Listen, every white man, so-called, every so-called Arab man, every so-called Asian man, every so-called Indian man, all these motherfuckers could literally go to sleep now and never wake up. But guess what? Even if it went back to being only black people on the planet, this planet, well, not the planet because she's gonna be fine. Honestly, hurricanes, tsunamis, earthquakes, all these things could literally just wipe out humanity. Like humanity thinks it's so important when in reality, this realm that we, the great ones, created could literally just wipe us all out in the blink of an eye. You know what it is I'm saying? So humanity needs to really stop thinking that it's this great thing when we're not even these physical bodies. But suffice it to say, even if all these other quote unquote races were to disappear, black people, so-called black people, are still fucked because They still got all that mind control, infantile, play school, kindergarten garbage up in their minds. And so it's going to be as if they never left. And honestly speaking, just like what you said, bro, these celebrities be looking so ugly and whatnot with plastic surgery and that silicone and all that makeup. And once they take all these things out, they're a literally completely different individual, a completely different entity. And societies back then, the entertainers were not even an afterthought. They weren't even in the thoughts of the people. Entertainers, like they were probably like the lowest of scum in societies back then. That just goes to show how spiritual we were back then, because we didn't have time for things like entertainment. We only entertained, we only contained in our minds the spiritual practices and the messages and the teachings of the ancient ones, showing us that the only way we're going to ascend past this realm and transcend this realm is to literally get back to who it is we truly are. And honestly, I advise people to start reading the Gnostic scriptures, even though there's a lot of like Christian undertones to it, the underlying code, the underlying message. And just like what you said, brother, shout out to you again. Our ancestors had to put these things in code so that these entities could have continually keep their heads scratching, be like, well, what the hell are these motherfuckers trying to say? What message have they left behind? Suffice it to say that, yeah, all these codes and messages, it seems like even our own people or the people who look like us, they really got caught up in all these fairy tales and whatnot. Like, just like what we've been talking about today, brother. Like, if you can continually preach this Jesus character who's not even real, who doesn't even care about you, who's really just a bastardized version of all the solar gods of ancient times, who are really all symbolisms of the sun, because motherfuckers be praying unto Jesus. If that's the case, you might as well give all your power to the sun, because the sun is literally the god of this system. We live in a solar system. That's why we call it that, a solar system. Take that sun off, take that sun out, and there is no life on this planet, point blank, period. But suffice it to say, this Jesus character who doesn't care about y'all, he already telling y'all that he don't give a shit about y'all, even when you all are on your deathbeds. Be singing hymns to this freaking entity, just nothing but spell work and just dark rituals to freaking bring you back into this physical realm. Like, people, honestly, people, I would not mind if they got back to stuff like voodoo, hoodoo, macumba, santeria, all of these ancient teachings, Obeah, like all of this is our stuff. These are our teachings. They taught us to fear our own spiritual practices, which have been around for at least thousands of cycles before these other races were even a concept. And by the way, speaking about the Gnostic scriptures, yeah, Jesus and Yahweh and Jehovah, these motherfuckers, if y'all don't know where these names came from, first of all, they came from ancient Egypt, but y'all, I would advise everybody to read Gerald Massey's books. Yeah, Gerald Massey, he has maybe like up to 6, 7 books, all covering ancient Egypt and covering a variety of different topics. And honestly speaking, they're so important because a lot of these books, they have information that, yo, honestly speaking, bro, it really takes me back to what General Seti said, and shout out to him. The ancient Egyptians, the ancient Cometians, they didn't only have one freaking book. Again, what Bobby Hemmett said, he who only knows one book knows none. So we had libraries. Remember the Library of Alexandria, the one that they literally burned down? Yeah, these motherfuckers, they did not want the truth because they could not grasp the truth. They couldn't grasp what our ancestors left behind for us. They couldn't decode it. So because they're naturally a very savage, dangerous, and childlike race, they had to freaking burn the library down because, yeah, if they can't get the knowledge, hey, why should anybody get the knowledge? Because, yeah, these motherfuckers, this is when they really started to, although people should do the research and ask themselves, how long have these other races been on this planet? Have they really been around for a few thousand years or just a few hundreds of years, a few hundreds of cycles? Because, bro, honestly speaking, there was a time where this planet was only inhabited by quote unquote black people. So these are questions people should really start asking themselves. But regardless of whatever the case, many black people would still be fucked in their minds if all these other races were to literally just perish, if they were to just die out suddenly. And like, you could consider that a good thing, though I have to say, people like Gerald Massey, people like who else? Robert Anton Wilson, people like E.A. Wallace Budge. These are all quote unquote white men. And the list goes on and on, but suffice it to say, these people are literally doing work that many of our own black people should be doing. But no, they're too busy with love and hip hop and what the next NBA team is doing or the championships and all this nonsense. Like, man, it's just a bunch of stupid shit, bro. But all I gotta say is, yeah, people could literally just go back to what it is I've been saying, what it is I've been laying out, and again, just listen to all the old lectures of Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic and Dr. Phil Valentine. Y'all could even watch Dr. Mumbi and General Seti and Real Merkaba. There are so many brethren online. Kalaimaya Amunra. I shout out to that brother. I am not black. We're not even like all the colors they give us make no freaking sense. So-called white people are pink-skinned people for fuck's sake. I mean, like for fuck's sake, they're pink-skinned people for goodness sake. And then you got the yellowish skinned people, so the so-called Asians. Like goodness gracious, anybody could be a freaking Asian. Anybody could be a freaking Asian. It's just a landmass for fuck's sake. And black people were the ones who, so-called black people were the ones who brought civilization over there. But to make a long story short, yeah, bro, it's really all about going back to what it is our ancestors have been showing us. But just like what Bobby Hemmett said, and he perfectly said it, we should not be looking at things from a human perspective. We should transcend the human existence because why would we want to go back to ancient Egypt if we know that it was mostly based off of a human existence? We should look to surpass the human existence. But, bro, I give it to you. You can make of and add whatever it is you need to because yeah, you are the host, and thank you very much for allowing me a platform to literally share these messages with people. But take it away, bro, because people really need to do their own research.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate all that you said too, because like I feel like the Caucasian people, like that's why they tone like red and pink so easily by like the sun exposing their true colors. So they're not even like that white color, they're really pink. And then like they always be hitting us with like distractions, just like trying to take us away from outside of our mind so we won't look inwards because the real world is the inner world, not this outer world, because we're not of this world and we're not, this is not our home either. And then like all these people don't really understand when they like read these like books or like see these hidden messages or anything like that because they just staying in their childhood state, and then they should just be reading like childhood books, like they probably just over here doing color books or something like, you
Yeah,
know.
shout out to you, brother. Shout out to what you already said. For real, if these motherfuckers can preach Jesus and Jesus just being another name for Yaldabaoth, Gnostic, the Gnostic jealous God that the Gnostics already told us about, who literally usurped control of this physical realm because that bitch ass chicken shit motherfucker, he literally is the same God who came to the Garden of Eden and told us, because get the code, the hidden message behind that Genesis story. Yeah, yes, nigger, I need you to literally only stay in your ignorant state, because the moment you come to realize what good and evil truly is, I'm done. You eat from this freaking tree of knowledge of good and evil, I'm freaking finished, because I'm a jealous God, and before me there's no other God, even though I just acknowledge that there are other gods and that I'm a subordinate deity. Yes, Yaldabaoth is a freaking subordinate deity. He's not even that freaking powerful. And he has a whole army just to freaking show you. You're so called powerful and you have a whole army working for you. What power do you freaking have, bitch? And that bitch is our own brother too. Imagine that, our own deformed, incomplete brother. He was born incomplete. It's like a good example I could give. A baby usually takes 9 months to fully grow and come out of the mother's womb, but this bitch probably maybe on month 4 or 5. Like, oof, yeah, this bitch wasn't even complete. You could read the Gnostic scriptures and see he's incomplete, which only shows that the great mother herself, the feminine half of the universe, which just goes to show that the creator itself is an imperfect being, a great and powerful creator, but an imperfect being. So this chicken shit motherfucker literally telling us to stay ignorant, because the day we start to grow in consciousness, we start to know more, he's done, because there's no way he could get power when we are aware of who we really are and we start to give that power back to ourselves. Because yeah, that's all I have to say, brother. Like literally we're talking about subordinate entities who don't even really have power that we're giving our power unto. Well, not really us, but like the people who are so caught up in this mind control dog shit, just like freaking governments. They're not powerful. They're not even that many. But why do we give our power to these nonsensical entities, these bugs, these parasites that deserve nothing but to just be eradicated and freaking destroyed? Like, just how silly is that, bro?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like within like the own within our own community, there's like a lot of coons. Like there can be like a lot of people who try
Shout out to
to.
brother Rashad Jamal, pretty ass house niggas. Fuck.
Oh yeah, it's like you definitely gotta see people for who they truly are, and not like the image that they portray or like the mask they put up, because it's like get to know like the real person instead of like those petty other stuff. And
Yeah,
then
that fake freaking character that they put on screen. Like, that's not who you are, bitch. Come to me as your true authentic self, as you always say. Come to me as who you really are.
yeah, because like down the line, then they kind of like put like sprinkles of like who they really are, but then like they don't really come out until like after, and then you'd be like, whoa, who is this person? I didn't. This is like a whole different type of person, you know. And then like they try to portray as like everything that's evil is like righteous, but everything evil is righteous. I mean, righteous is evil. Like they just try to flip the script on everyone, and then they just try to
Mhm.
like put feel on ourselves. So like everything that we used to do, they just like portray it as like fear or like horror or like anything else that try to scale you into doing these practices. But we've been doing these for like cycles now, and it can really help advance your spiritual growth. But if you don't really tap into that type of knowledge, then you have to find like different ways to reach that type of level, I guess. And then they always try to portray like fairy tales, like with like these cartoons and these kids shows. They get people when they're young with these fairy tales, because once you're young, you see, oh, this is a perfect relationship. Oh, this is just, you know, God and whatever. But it's like that's
All an
not.
illusion, just like what the Hindu religion with the many symbolisms and whatnot. And by the way, all these are our religions because again, all these religions are ancient, melanated, carbon black religions. Like the Hindus were us, the Buddhas were us, the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians were us, the ancient Africans. Come on, need I say more? All of this was literally a purely carbonated planet. And honestly speaking, a lot of these fairy tales and whatnot, they still have way more truth than what it is you be seeing in these freaking when you go out into this fake ass freaking world which you call the real world. Isn't that weird? The fact that fiction has more truth than the so-called real world itself? Like, insane world we live in, bro.
Oh yeah, fiction with nonfiction. That like yeah, they just flip everything around. That's why people won't change, because they're just too brainwashed of learning those false methods. And then now that they have to like unlearn those false ideologies to actually like know like the real stuff. And then that's why
They
like,
love an illusion.
oh yeah, they'll keep telling themselves like believing in the illusions to be in that comfortability state. But like we have to keep leveling up. We can't just stay stagnant. We can't just stay in the same place. We just have to keep going up.
Like, I'm telling you, it's insane, brother, because literally the Hindus even today, they teach us that, or not they, but like the teachings our ancestors left for us within these spiritual systems. They already taught us that the Maya, what you see up there, what you see out there is nothing but an illusion because you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. You are no different than from God itself or what you want to call God. Because honestly, we're greater than the gods, bro. We created the gods. Fuck the gods. They're not even that great. These motherfuckers are wishing, are hoping, are longing for us to remain ignorant so that we don't take back our true power because they know that we are the ones who have the true power. The only difference between us and spiritual beings is that we have physical bodies and they don't. Shout out to Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Phil Valentine and all these brethren, Enoch the Freestyle Prince, Dr. Mumbi, Real Merkaba. We are just living through these physical bodies, experiencing this physical world. But if you were to literally witness, okay, one of two scenarios. If this entire system were to literally go down tomorrow, like literally nothing left. Banks shut down, jobs fucking shut down, airports shut down, ship ports shut down, every freaking thing shut down. Do you want to see a lot of people just commit suicide, like as if there's nothing else to live for? Like, goodness gracious. And a second thing, if people were to realize that they were going to pass away tomorrow, they're not going to live beyond tomorrow. Like, could you imagine within that very little time they have, they're going to try to do everything that they did not do when they just gave themselves up to this system that never cared for them, that got them in that freaking hamster wheel life. Like, and shout out to you with that show, that Netflix show, Nobody's Looking, brother. Like, yeah, for real, got people on a freaking hamster wheel believing in a freaking lie. Like, Hinduism teaches us that it's an illusion. Only the inside world exists. And shout out to you for bringing that up because if I came from the source, I came from the primordial darkness because every freaking religion, no matter how ancient or recent, speaks about a primordial darkness that existed in the very beginning. Before there was light, there was only ever darkness. And we come from that freaking darkness. For comparison, melanin, which represents that darkness but in a liquid form, costs more than freaking gold. Let that sink in. On the black market, melanin costs more than freaking gold. So what is this substance? What is this substance that they be lying to us about? Oh, about your ugly this and ugly that. And these motherfuckers, these freaking white people going up in the sun, they're burning or even dying, wishing they had that melanin to freaking enjoy that sun. But again, shout out to brother Rashad Jamal. All these other humanoids, they don't even really come from this world. Like, this world was created for us. It's a solar system, but they're not even solar beings. So really has you questioning if you're dying from the sun and this is a solar system, how, where did you come from to begin with? I mean, people are not asking themselves these questions, right? But whatever. Suffice it to say, it's an illusion. If I were to take a cup and go into the ocean and literally take water and put it in that cup, is not the water in the cup the same as what I took from the ocean? We're no different than freaking God. We're no different from these spiritual entities. People need to stop worshiping. That's a freaking cracker ass, peckerwood, white boy concept. We didn't worship fucking entities. We communed with them. We literally had conversations with them. They help us to overcome this human existence because this human existence is the lowest that any spiritual being having a physical experience can experience. And honestly, I'm not even really talking about the animals, even though you have uh gods that have reincarnated in animals for one reason or another. But suffice it to say, even animals, when you look at them, they don't cause destruction to this realm that we're in. Humans now, oh boy, like, honestly, you could just do the research and see how much damage has been done by motherfuckers who look like us alone, brother. But at least where the humanoids are concerned. But yeah, bro, all I have to say is people, yeah, shout out to Bobby Hemmett. Like, I'm telling you, Bobby Hemmett, yo, people, you research, go on YouTube, like literally go online, search for all the books that he literally recommends for you to read, search for all the freaking videos that he left behind, search for, like, yeah, he's left a lot of lectures, a lot of freaking lectures. Oh boy, I don't even know where to start. But suffice it to say, my brother Bobby Hemmett and all these great brethren, yeah, they've done a great freaking job. And some people call him the spiritual hitman because if you're a Christian and you're down with that fairy tale lie nonsense and you hear his information for the first time, yo, either you're going to let confirmation bias comfort you, or you're gonna literally get hit hard at the back of the neck because you're going to really start questioning everything you thought was the truth. But suffice it to say, bro, people have a lot of work to do. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. But again, if everything were to shut down tomorrow, or we were to literally die tomorrow, big fucking deal. Life in and of itself is not going to stop for anyone. What the hell makes you or me or any other motherfucker who thinks they're that important? What makes them think they're that important? They're not. Life is going to continue no matter what. And honestly speaking, bro, that's all I gotta say. Take it away.
Oh yeah, life just keeps going and like it doesn't stop just because one person is gone. As we can see, like with even with celebrities, like even though they try to make it as a big deal, just life just keeps going. And then for like the knowledge, once like the knowledge really hits like the true faults, and then that's why like some people try to get like defensive or like get triggered because they know that truth is really hitting their soul, but they just don't want to accept it in their mind. But in their heart, they know what you're saying is really facts. And then, um, yeah, we have to stop like worshiping like these like other like spiritual beings and just like commune with them because they are us. They are part of us. They help us, and so we just commune with them. We don't have to worship them because well, they're the child of the universe. We are the universe, we all the same. So we just commune. It's like a spiritual team, like a spiritual brother or like a spiritual sister. And then animals, oh yeah, like people always be thinking that they're like humans is like the best species and everything like that. They don't even know what's outside in the galaxies, let alone the animals. Let alone let alone the animals. And then that's why oh yeah, oh yeah, the surviving. Oh yeah, for like the say if like someone's like dies tomorrow and whatnot, then they do all the things that they was holding back on or was trying to do earlier but never done it because they either just programmed enough or just scared enough that they haven't even done it. So that just shows like people are really not living life right now and they just going with the flow. They just going through the hamster wheel over and over and over until they're gone. And then once they're on their deathbed, they be like, "Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have took more risks and all that." But I'm just like, "Oh, well, you lived your life. You're coming back anyway. So maybe next time." You know what I'm saying? But um, for like the
Oh.
yeah, for like the melanin, yeah, like people like we like for like the black community, like quote unquote the black community, they we always talk about like oh yeah our ancestors and like being black and being melanated is so good and everything like that, but they don't even really realize the depth of it of like melanin being more than gold, and that's why they do all these tactics with these children and all these underground caves and everything like that. It definitely goes deep. And
Our
then like,
women, our
oh
women,
yeah.
brother, our women.
And then for like the characters, like the avatar, like most people judge people just on their based on their physical. So like they don't even realize, hey, I chose this character or I chose this avatar. This is not me. This is really a video game simulation and I'm just operating this avatar. This is not even me. So it's like, how can you judge another person's physical appearance when they're just operating like playing a controller? It's just a controller.
Bro, shout out to you. I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm give it back to you. I'm so glad you brought that up because we've been speaking about it already. How? Because if you watch go back in ancient Egypt, and you watch the 42 Confessions of Mayat, suffice it to say, you could do the research and see for yourself. But the 42 Confessions of Mayat saying, I can't do this, or I have not done this, and I have not done that. Guess what? The real me, the spiritual me, never did any of these things because the real me was never even in this physical video game realm to begin with. I want to know, how can you judge me based off of raping a woman, raping a child, killing thousands, if not millions of people? Yes, these are all heinous things, and I don't advise anyone to even think about doing these things, let alone doing them, because they're really heinous. Because the physical experience, because remember, the subconscious mind is such a stupid thing, it cannot tell. It's a child. The subconscious mind is a child. It cannot separate reality from fiction. It cannot separate a real experience from a fictional experience. Suffice it to say, you couldn't judge me based off of anything I did in this physical realm for nothing, because this is just a video game character, GTA, Grand Theft Auto style. Like, literally, I'm going around murking a bunch of motherfuckers. Well, guess what? The real me never did any of these things. Of course, these are low vibrational things, and they do keep us in the reincarnation cycle. So that's why we should do our best to transcend and ascend past this realm. Because yeah, why would we want to come back to be doing the same bullshit over and over? You know what it is I'm saying, my brother? So I'm really glad you brought it up, bro, because yeah, these motherfuckers can say what they want. If they want to preach Jesus and hell and whatnot, all the best to them. But guess what? Hell, like what somebody said, and shout out to them, I'd rather rule in hell than to be a slave in heaven. You want to go to heaven and be a second rate chump? Oh, go ahead. If you want to be a slave, I wish you nothing but the best. But if I can be ruler of hell, I'm going to fucking do it, because I'm a spiritual being. We can't even feel pain, you dumb motherfuckers. Bro, take it away. Take it away, my brother. Like, thank you. Like, thank you for bringing that up, brother. Shout out to you on that. Like, just to allow spirit to literally send the message, let the people know what's really up. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Brandon's word for it. Just learn to trust your own self and know the truth, the only truth, the universal truth, for what it really is.
Oh yeah, that's big facts because like pain is just like when we really think about pain, it's just a mental thing because when you really think about it, say if you like cut your hand, right? And then you won't even like if you don't even look at it, you won't even feel it. But once you look at it, then it connects to your mind and be like, oh no, I got a cut. Oh no, no. Then it starts to hurt even more and everything like that. So if you don't even pay attention to
Mm-hmm.
it, you don't even, it's not even painful. So pain is just really in the mind. And then yeah, it's not even like if we're not of this world and we're not of this like this world and this is not our home, then this can't
This
even,
physical body.
yeah, this physical
Yeah, this
body
physical
is
body
not
is not
even
who we
ours.
are.
Yeah, and then like I feel like people are just like too much in their minds, so they just overthink everything. So like they don't really see like the fiction and the non-fiction of everything. They just like, oh no, this is a bad thing, so let me not do it, or this is a good thing, so let me do it. You know what I'm saying? Because like other people just told them that they don't really know like what's really right and what's really wrong. And then who's us to judge? Because at the end of the day, these universal laws are really based on the physical realm. So like if we're chaos beings in the spiritual realm, are there really any rules or regulations or laws? That's
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me put my monkey ass back on the let me put my monkey ass back on the freaking video. Yes, thank you, my brother. These universal laws, do they really even apply to these spiritual entities? What do these spiritual entities be doing when people are not calling them, invoking them in a ritual or whatnot? Who fucking knows? But all I do know, brother, yo, you worshiping these motherfuckers because you think they're gods when you are the same entity as them, but the only difference is you have a physical body. Then that I really question. I just stop and ask myself questions, my brother. I used to be a big so-called Christian and whatnot too. But then I think it was sometime around 2016 or whatnot, I got burned out. I'm gonna get back to you, my brother. But I got burned out personally. I just, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I've been through all of it. Jesus this, Jesus that. Never heard from the bitch. Never heard a message from him. He never even sent me a fax. He never even sent me a fucking fax. He didn't even send me a freaking email or nothing. So, shout out to General Steady. Anytime a motherfucker call Jesus, anytime they call Jesus, put me in the middle. Put me in the freaking middle. I want to talk to that bitch. I want to talk to that motherfucker and Yahweh. The Bible says God is a spirit, but every time they describe God, they describe him like a freaking man. Like, shout out to General Seti. So, what God be wearing about something? The soles of his feet. The soles of his feet. So, he wearing sandals or he wearing Timberlands? What the fuck this man wearing? And about his hair. His hair. So he be wearing a Seattle Supersonics cap, or he's a Utah Jazz fan, or maybe he likes the Boston Celtics, the Lakers maybe. Like he be wearing shades. Like they be man is a fickle creature. He cannot see past his own fake physical experience. We are not these physical bodies. And you want to judge me based off of a silly video game experience, which is this physical life, and I'm not even this physical body. Goodness gracious, people, you see how they fool motherfuckers, bro. And shout out to brother Tariq Bey, because he literally said, because and you know better than me, bro, if you lie about something and you keep repeating that lie over and over and over, say you lie about having a car, but you know you currently don't have that car, regardless of what model that car is. You keep lying to yourself saying you have that car, you have that car. Bro, you literally start to believe you have that fucking car when the reality is you never physically owned that car, which is why many of these preachers, especially the ones who are at the top, because Masons, and shout out to brother Tariq Bey on that again. Mason is literally just a combination of the words Mary and son, being son, Asar, who is representative of the sun, and his son Heru, who also represents the sun. Mary being Aset, the female, the divine female. So we're talking about May son, mother and son. Literally, that's what these. Even though they corrupted it. Like they're not um using these principles based off of righteousness and literally being one with the universe. They're just using it to instill and enforce their power within the physical. But that's okay, because these beasts, all they have is the physical realm, and the physical is a illusion, one of the biggest illusions ever. Take that away, and they have nothing. So these spiritual principles, do they even apply to these spiritual beings? I ask myself this question, and honestly speaking, you could say whatever you want, but it doesn't appear like that to me. Because, bro, while I look to do what is right for myself and see whatever it is I can do for others, the reality of it all is, yo, this is like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You may think that you're the character on the screen when in reality you're literally the player who's controlling that character. What they're going through is literally not your experience, and what your true self is literally experiencing is way beyond this physical body. So, like you said, pain isn't even a real thing. It's literally in the mind. Everything in this physical reality is an illusion. We are the potters and it is the clay. How do you choose to mold it? Yo, goodness gracious. Thank you very much for bringing that up, brother. Yo, you really deserve way more than just a big ups for that, bro. For real, for real.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like with like the mind thing, I feel like the mind is kind of like connected to the game, because that's why people just keep thinking about like all those stuff. So like they just keep wanting that like same instances in their minds. So that's why it just like keeps playing out, and that's how they feel like that connected to their physical, or like that kill though, because it's like now that game that they've been playing all this time is now entering their like spiritual minds, and now it's just like overthrowing their like judgment.
Corrupting the spiritual mind.
Yeah, and then like about the, oh yeah, not like everything that we experience that in like these physical bodies is not us. So like you have like people like be like, oh, she did me wrong, or like, oh, he talked bad about me, or not. Like these are just like instances that are not even real, that doesn't even apply to us because we're not even us. It's like it's really like GTA, like how you said, because it's like the character can go through, the character has its own backstory. The character has something that they're going through, but it's not really us that are going through it. We're just operating or just like experiencing that character, experiencing their own experiences, pretty much, if you want to say like that. And then
Yeah, and just for reference, my brother, stay on that thought, stay on that thought. Just for reference, imagine if people, shout out to Dr. Phil Valentine, if people literally had to stop with their jobs, if they had to stop paying silly ass rent, stop had to paying silly ass bills. Imagine if there were millions of motherfuckers who stopped doing that. Yo, bro, this system would die right on the spot. There's no way this system could continue. It's because people give life to the system, which only supports the fact that we are the true power of the society and we are the true lifeblood of the system. Without us, there is no freaking system. Who the hell are these government officials? They're just ugly ass celebrities. I shout out to you on that one, my brother. For real, if people had to stop paying bills and stop paying all this nonsense, which ain't got nothing to do with them, out in nature, we ain't fucking paying bills and we ain't doing any other shit. Nature gives us everything for free. What the hell is paying bills and rent and all that nonsense? We used to live in simple freaking structures that literally only just kept the rain away or even supported shade from the sun sometimes and whatnot. But even then, black people especially should literally go out into that sun so that they could catch as much of that power as possible because that sun is literally our sun. We created that sun, and in turn, he gives us power, just like the stars, and except the moon, because the moon, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, that's a whole nother topic. The moon, all I could say for the moon is, remember when Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z he destroyed the moon? Yeah, that was for good reason. All I could say is, uh, women be going through periods and whatnot. That shouldn't be happening. And these mood swings and whatnot, all that shit shouldn't be happening. Like these werewolf stories, there's really a lot of truth to it. But suffice it to say, yeah, my brother, just imagine. It's all literally just like the Grand Theft Auto franchise. We are controlling this character, literally sympathizing with them to an extent what it is they're going through. But the reality of it all is it's real to them, but it isn't real to us because that's not who we really are, which is exactly why this physical body is one of the grandest illusions. It's a prison, just like what the ancient Cometians taught us. This is not this is not us. It ain't got nothing to do with us, which is exactly why people should look to break the reincarnation cycle because there's no reason for us to continually live in an illusion lifetime after lifetime after lifetime when we're not even of this world. Plain and simple. Take it away, my brother.
oh yeah, for like the moon part, like all I gotta say is that joint just gotta get destroyed because that joint has too much weird energy, too much weird vibes, and all these fallen angels and all that. Yeah, that joint just needs to get destroyed. But
Bro, ancient civilization spoke about a time when the moon didn't even exist. So just let that sink in. People can just do the research and see for themselves. There was a time not long ago the moon didn't even exist. The Zulu, shout out to Rashad Jamal, the Zulu up in Africa right now spoke of a time when the moon literally as if it just showed up one day. Like, what the hell is that?
yeah, so like these people can't even leave the dome. So how in the world they even got to quote unquote the moon or quote unquote Mars if they can't even leave the dome too? And then for like the humanity giving life to the system part, like we run the system. So like just imagine if like the government is just like the puppet masters and then the puppets is like humanity that runs like the system. So you got the puppet masters who's controlling the puppets. But just imagine if humanity, which is the quote unquote puppets, came alive like the Toy Story and pretty much just like overthrown the human race, which is like the government, if you want to
Take
think,
over.
say, yeah,
Take over.
because it's because like there's a lot of like toys out there, like the puppets, so they can overthrow the human existence, which is like the government, so they just have to do it like that. And then for like the lying, oh yeah, the lying about like the call thing, um, believing that you have like the call and whatnot. If you, that's how like manifestation works. So like you have to act it, feel it, believe it, and walk through that like cycle like each and every day of like, oh yeah, I already have it because you already have it, but you already know it's linear time, so it just has a delay with it with this physical world. So it's already manifested in the spiritual, it's just waiting for it to manifest in the physical. So
Mm-hmm.
you just have to act it, feel it, and believe it. So now if you do it, then it can easily come to you quick and easy. And then for like back to that spiritual entities and the Jesus thing, like if we can call if we can do like voodoo and just like these like I forgot what it's called, but those like that game board where you like call spirits and everything like that.
Ouija.
Oh,
Ouija.
oh yeah, the Ouija boards and whatnot. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if we can all do that and call on different entities, but but we can't even call on Jesus, like how is that even? Like we get to interact with all these other spiritual entities, but we can't interact with Jesus. So where is Jesus at this point? You get what
He's too busy.
I'm
He's too busy, brother. I guess his phone line is way too overflooded.
I'm just saying, like, damn,
Goodness gracious, man. Fuck. Man, people continue to believe in a freaking lie, an entity who doesn't even heck. I'm pretty sure if they call out his real name, Yaldabaoth, that bitch, that chicken shit nigga, I bet you they're literally going to first in one way or another, they're gonna get through with contacting him because that's really who it is. That subordinate deity.
Mhm. And yeah, back to what we were saying about the greater than the gods. Like we we're the ones who came down here to uplift the planet Kai and humanity and everything like that. So that just shows you like we're definitely even more powerful than these other spiritual entities because they called on us to come back to do pretty much their dirty work, pretty much because like if I if it was up to me, I'll be living in the spiritual realm, just like chilling, just watching, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they do. So we just have to do the work pretty much. And then yeah, it's all about like the quote unquote black people because like that's the real people who like really needs to like awaken to their true power because like they already have like they already all connected to the divine because of their melanin and everything like that. That's but how they manipulate their minds and brainwash them, that's where it kind of got iffy.
And and bro, just to add to what it is that you're saying there, the black women, because we know the woman, these entities. Shout out to Dr. Mumbi and Foster eBay, our brethren over in Africa. Um, Imagine the women who were literally here before anyone else, the carbonated, melanated queens. Imagine if they had to stop calling on fucking Jesus and they literally tap into their true spiritual ancestors and really come together and really look to end this system, bro. With all of them coming together, not only would these beasts be freaking destroyed, but this system would literally be as if it wasn't. It's already been eradicated for some hundreds of years already because the women need to realize how freaking powerful they really are. The men are there to, based off of the electric masculine energy, they're there to enforce the woman's rule. But a woman can only be, a woman is only as powerful as she herself sees herself. And because they've done such a good job to mess our women up in their minds, the black woman has literally become a joke in today's society when they know damn well that the black woman, she is literally the blood of humanity. Because it's because of the black woman she has to return to her throne. And I'm telling you, my brother, if the black woman is not on her throne, there's no way humanity is ever going to have peace. It's as long as the black woman is suffering, there's no freaking way. that this human race is ever going to be liberated. And watch how these other motherfuckers, these other races, how they treat their women. Absolute dog shit. But that's only because the entities that these 13 dog shit bloodlines, they don't respect the divine feminine because they see the divine feminine as something foreign. It isn't amazing. Parasites see the true entities as something foreign when they're the ones who need to be freaking destroyed. Ironic universe we live in, huh? But suffice to say, it's exactly why they treat not just black women, but all women like absolute shit. Just imagine if the black women alone, heck, all women had to come together. And then after that, each and every race could literally just go their own way and literally build themselves up. You know what it is I'm saying? But all I gotta say is, bro, as long as the women do not come together, as long as they're still in fairy tale la la land, they're still messed up in their minds. There's no way this society can be liberated. There's no way humans can elevate as long as the women are brought down to absolute putrid childlike levels. I'm telling you, bro, the women need to come together. Only then will we really see humanity start to elevate past this wretched human existence. And like you perfectly said, we got to move past this human existence because it's not worth it. It's just a cocoon. It's just literally boiling up. It's literally boiling up who we really are on the inside. So when the time comes, we could literally burst out like butterflies into the great spiritual beings that we really are. Remember the movies Alien and Predator? Yeah, Predator has African locks. Let that sink in. They're both carbonated beings. Take all of that into consideration and literally think about it.
Oh yeah, they just showing us who we really are, to be honest. Like I watched that there was like this new like movie called like Prey about like the predators and everything like that, and they just really
Mm-hmm.
showing us like what who we are and who we connected to and like our powers that we hold within. And then yeah, like seeing these like women out here nowadays is just like so different from where it used to be. Like they just been downplaying women and just like really just like they controlling their minds. So like now it's just like kind of like bonkers of how much stuff that is clogged into little minds and clouded judgment and everything like that. So now it's like, yeah, women definitely have to like uplift their energies and rise above it. And not only women, but men as well, because like men is really attached to, when you really think about it, I feel like men are really attached to the physical realm because like men will be like, oh yeah, I just want a woman for like sex or like, oh,
Men
I
are the
just,
enforcers, brother. Men are the enforcers, which is exactly why the yeah, not to cut you off. Remember what you were gonna say. The divine feminine is connected to the cosmos directly, whereas the divine masculine, it's still connected to the cosmos, but what it does, it enforces the divine feminine. It enforces that part of the cosmos to manifest anywhere it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's like massive energy burst, literally just attacking and throwing down anything that stands in its path. You know, like an unstoppable object meeting an immovable force or something like that. So yeah, the divine feminine, which is exactly why a man should always be alert. If a woman isn't sending spells his way and whatnot, like what Foster eBay said, shout out to him. Any woman that tries to send anything, any negative energy your way, yo, try dodge that like Neo in the Matrix because these women out here, they be freaking using these magnetic powers because the feminine energy, people need to stop looking at the human way of things. I'm literally talking about pure energies. The feminine is magnetic, the masculine is electric. Indeed, men, like you said, perfectly put it. Again, shout out to you, my brother. I could not have worded it better. Men are more attached to the physical realm in that sense because yeah, don't be surprised if a man is not psychically or spiritually in tune because he can't be more in tune than the woman. She is literally the anthropomorphic representation of the feminine universal energy. Take it back, brother.
oh yeah, especially like if anyone tried to send you anything like that, just like always return back to sender because like
Back to sender.
Because whatever they put out into the universe, they're gonna get back. And if they'll send it back, like dark energy and everything like that, then they deserve to have some dark energy back. And then yeah, it's like electricity meeting magnetic. So like just like two magnets coming together and it's like sticks together.
Magneto from the X-Men.
Yeah, and definitely not no Professor X because that man just be like trying to control people's powers and try to
Mm-hmm.
stop people from like actually like doing what they need to do. But yeah, and then for like the men with the enforcers, like they just like enforces like women to like step into like that feminine wall and like that um divine energy for like the righteous men be doing that for like the women to get them back into like that feminine role because I feel like most women have to like nowadays just be having like the guard up and everything like that. So they try to play like the man's role instead of like that woman role. But
Thank you, thank you.
all up like that.
Let me bring my ugly ass back in here again because I'm telling you, my brother. Yo, you see this avatar? This ain't the best looking avatar ever, but bro, I'm telling you, yo, you nailing it. You're nailing it. You're nailing it. I can see you've grown in the time that we had our last life, my brother. And yo, keep growing, my brother. Keep expanding. These bitches, and Dr. Phil Valentine already spoke about it. The women are taking the men's role, and the men are taking the women's role. What kind of psychosis nonsense is this? Like, really? Men who are supposed to be the enforcers, who are supposed to ensure that the righteous woman's role is being set up in this realm, and the woman, her connection to the universe, so that that peace, that power, that tranquility, that serenity, that love, that higher understanding, overstanding, wisdom, knowledge, all that good stuff can be literally just abounding abundantly within this realm. These pieces of shit trying to turn the women into men and the men into women. Like, unless they're trying to bring us back to when we were androgynous hermaphroditic beings, nah, we can't. Nah, well, actually, what these beings are trying to do, they're trying to eradicate sex altogether because they don't give a shit about the divine masculine or the feminine. Oh, we know they hate the feminine. They even hate their own freaking women, for fuck's sake. These freaking technocrats, these beasts, these inorganic and organic pieces of shit, bro, they have to be brought down because, bro, we can't tolerate any more of this shit. White women, even though your hair really is fur because y'all are a genetically engineered people, please know who it is you are and accept who you are, as well as so-called Indian women, so-called Asian women. They treat you all like shit because no matter what, they know y'all still have that connection to the universe. Because even in Babylon 5, shout out to J. Michael Straczynski and his team for that show. That episode with Jason Ironheart, bro, where he literally said he didn't even see the OG Captain Commander Sinclair. He didn't even see him as a man when he was elevating in power with his Professor X telekinetic abilities. He literally saw him as a mini universe. Remember what I said earlier? We are the microcosm of the macrocosm. We are just as connected to the universe as the spiritual entities that motherfuckers worship. We don't need to worship any entity because we should be giving all that power to ourselves. Heck, Bobby Hemmett literally spoke about when he interacted with these spiritual entities along his journey, how they said they don't even like humans. It turned him off at first. But as he started to grow, he realized, wait, they don't really like humans and they haven't destroyed humanity in its entirety. So when you put all those pieces of the puzzle together, what they're trying to say is they don't like the way humans normally operate, even when they're doing these rituals and successfully call them. They're not trying to aim for apotheosis, the action and the means of looking to become a god or tapping back in to your true self. No, they're just using it for physical, mundane nonsense. No, we should be aiming back for godhood. We are great chaos beings. We are way above this physical realm. But yes, my brother, the men are not women. If nature really did not want us men to be here, we wouldn't be here. If nature didn't want women to be here, they wouldn't be here. If nature really wanted to eradicate humanity, earthquakes, tsunamis, you name it, would have just freaking taken us out already. Which is why shout out to the Native American brethren, my true melanated Native American brethren. Y'all ancestors put it best. Y'all are not above nature. Y'all are one with nature because nature could have easily eradicated us anytime she felt like it. But bro, I'm gonna give it back to you because yeah, people need to realize the agendas of these bitches because yeah, the system is collapsing, but unless people disconnect, detox and detach from this system, chances are, yeah, sucks to be them. That's all I gotta say.
Oh yeah, it's like why not put all that power back to yourself? Because like at the end of the day, like you want to uplift yourself, not uplift other people, because that's like just like being a people pleaser. And then like back to like that man thing, like men are definitely like softer nowadays because like say if they get into like a alteration with like a group of people, then you have like the woman that's like staying like standing in front of like some men actually like be putting the women in the middle of the altercation and everything like that. And don't even get me started with them like calling the police and not even fighting back. And don't even get me started by the bystanders who just be watching, just trying to get some quick views and whatnot, talking about, oh yeah, this is going down at this street and I can't believe it. That someone's getting killed. I'm not gonna help them, but I'm gonna record it.
Not a single motherfucker gonna come in to literally like gang bang that bitch, like literally put the pounding on that bitch, like literally almost leave him for dead, and then call the cops to literally take his almost dead body away. Like, just how fucked up are people in their minds today, bro?
Yes, like, and then like people always try to like act hard and just like try to act tough online, but once you really see them, they're really not the same person. And then like nowadays, like women are more harder than men because women are over here out here like fighting and whatnot, and not even like stepping into their like true selves, but like men is just like standing in the background just watching and everything like that. And it's just like showing like all these kids like the new way, like the quote unquote new way of like men being more softer and like women being hard as a rock and hard to talk to and everything like that. Just like look at society nowadays. Like back then, we used to, men didn't even have to approach women. We didn't have to like try to get a woman's number or like anything like that. They came to us. But now in Western society, now you got all these men pleasing women, taking them, doing all type of stuff for them, and now they'll pretty much the men, and we are like the woman. You get what I'm saying? So
Like,
that's
yeah, it's a really messed up thing, and honestly speaking, like for like how they even have like these, how they even have like, and it's really sad to say, but when you have like these robot lovers and you have these sex dolls and whatnot, like for goodness for goodness sake, like it's messed up, but at the same time, you can kind of get where these people are coming from because they don't appreciate actual human experience no more. They don't really care about meeting other people and whatnot because people have become so artificial. Like, for goodness sake, man, like this shit has to stop. These motherfuckers have to realize it's an agenda. People need to realize it's an agenda that these beasts that they place at the top are literally trying to execute. And with the system clearly falling right before our very eyes, now is the time for all of us to come together and literally go back to the ways that nature already placed us to fulfill. Men, be men. Like literally manifest that masculine energy. Women, manifest that feminine energy so that the universe can literally abound here on earth. Like the Jesus character said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You are great spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. Make your own spiritual experiences manifest here in the physical realm because that's what it's all about. And honestly speaking, bro, yo, people, look, whatever rocks somebody's boat, if you're gay, if you're straight, I don't know, if you're into sex toys, like, I don't freaking care. But for goodness gracious, respect your fellow man, really come to that greater understanding, like really come to realize that, oh, here's something before I forget to mention, bro, before we wrap up, I forgot to mention, shout out to Bobby Hemmett on this. Whenever they say, oh, the children are the future, the children are the future, fuck the children. A child is a literally retarded little human being. Am I right or am I wrong? I don't care if you think I'm wrong. I don't want you to agree with me on everything. But a child is a mentally incompetent person. They reincarnated into this physical realm, meaning they're nowhere near the level of having to share that knowledge of everything that they know about this reality, because that's just the messed up part about reincarnation. We are the future. We are the future. Because, bro, if the adults are literally the ones who are teaching, preaching, and literally taking action to manifest the reality that we look to accomplish here in this physical realm, then the children are automatically going to be the adults of tomorrow, literally doing the same thing for their children and their children to their children, and so on and so forth. The children are not the future. We are the future. The children can't do shit. We are the future. Bro, as we're ready to wrap up, take it away. And more than a pleasure, bro. People need to get back and realize that we need to, before we could really achieve that level of godhood again, we need to first master this human experience. Only then can we really move forward and say, yeah, I'm done with this human experience. Bring me back my godhood, please. Please lead me back to my godhood. Take it away, my brother.
Oh yeah, and then like plus when we really think about it, like children can't even fight either. So like if if there was like a war going on, who's gonna protect? It's the adults, you know what I'm saying? So
Man, the children just gonna come with their freaking Legos and their freaking little toy dinosaurs and their action figures and their dolls. Oh yeah, instead of throwing freaking cannons and guns and AK-47s, it's just a bunch of Barbies and Transformers. And it's gracious, man. Children
and
can't do nothing.
and then on top of that, like they have like that mental programming like through the from 0 to 7, and then plus their parents took them to the doctor, so they injected them with all type of stuff. So yeah, like the children is just nowadays is just I don't know.
Thank you for bringing that up, my brother. People need to learn to start giving birth to their own children again. If you're pregnant, fuck the hospital. Fuck the hospital. There are many videos on YouTube showing you exactly what it is you should be doing in order to help your woman to safely deliver a baby. And ladies, y'all need to stop giving birth lying down, because that's how many women end up dying. Even if the child somehow miraculously survives, that's how many mothers don't even live to see their children, because they go with that freaking Western nonsense about giving birth while lying down. Women need to be squatting when giving birth to their babies. So, women, exactly why you see why the women, men may be the head, but women are the neck, my brother. And I tell you, neck pain is a terrible, terrible pain to feel. If the neck cannot even make a spin, if the neck can't even just turn around a little bit, it's a messed up feeling. And you probably had neck pains before, so you know what it is I'm talking about, my brother. Women need to get back on their highest level in order for society to really start functioning, at least on a human level. Of course, we have to move way past the human experience. But thank you for bringing that up, my brother. You literally have been pinpoint spot on in this one. And by all means, like, for real, keep on elevating, my brother, because people need to stop relying on the fucking system. Just like how if we had to stop paying bills and all this rubbish, the same way we can literally start giving birth to our own children again. we really show the system, yo, fuck y'all. Y'all are still in business. Pack your bags up and get the hell up out of here. We don't need y'all around. Fuck y'all. We'll take care of everything based on society because we are literally the mothers and fathers of civilization. So yeah, these motherfuckers, like, this system want to try cripple us, make us rely on it when we're literally seeing with our own two eyes, let alone our spiritual eyes, our first eye and whatnot. We can literally start to see with all of our eyes, physical and spiritual, that this system is a vulnerable, weak, falling house of cards. And by all means, let the bitch fall and never build back up.
Oh yeah, definitely. And back to what we were saying, like it was all about like that spiritual being internally because now they making like multiple genders and everything like that. It's not about they trying to take out that like the sex between the male and the female, but now they have like all these genders and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's always about that spiritual being internally. And a lot of people just like stuck in their ways and not showing kindness to other people. So that's why like a lot of people tend to go to like dolls and everything like that because they don't show them like that type of, you know, animosity or like trying to bring them down and everything like that, like how all the people do. So they find it more better with dolls and everything like that. And
Just to
then
show you, my brother, yeah, just to show you how spot on you are with that, my brother. Even if you say, for example, you're a man and yeah, you respect women, you love women, you could literally have a woman. Like, we live in Western society, so yeah, let me show my ugly ass on this one again so that people can really get the message. But uh, we live in a monogamous society, and Western civilization, oh goodness gracious, how I despise it so much. if if I were to really stop and think about it, bro, even if I could say uh respect a woman and have a relationship with only one woman, the reality of it all is, shout out to young Pharaoh on that. And I have to say it, black men in particular, I cannot talk for other races of men, you know what I'm saying? But black men in particular were not created for monogamous relationships. No, black men, I really don't. It doesn't feel like they were created for monogamous relationships. And this thing about belief, we need to get out of belief. We need to get back to knowing. You could see it, my brother. Africa is still the only landmass in the world where polygamous relationships are not a problem. Why is that? Why is that? And these women in Western society need to realize it goes way beyond sex. The sex is the small part of it. Could you imagine if in Western society, and shout out to Bobby Hemmett, there was a white woman, a testimony he gave, a white woman up in Utah, I think it was, but like you could say many, many years ago, is when the government officials found out that this woman, a so-called white woman, she had two men. They found out, and it came to the point where she thought she had to choose one of these men because she was already with both of these men for a while. No, they said, nah, you can't even be with any of these men. Like, you piece of shit government official motherfucker. Who the hell made you God into telling me who I can and can't be with? Like, you could really feel the pain that woman went through when they told her that. Like, and these are so-called white people, and even they know this better than anyone, because white people as we know them, they can be super freaky deaky and whatnot, which I really gotta ask, if if a lot of these people be literally having sex with their own cousin and their own sister and their own mother and father and uncle and aunt and whatnot, and they're not getting AIDS, how is it that freaking Africa, where black people, they don't even really focus, like, yeah, they're pushing babies out like nothing, but they they don't even put sex as a priority, and they're getting AIDS. They're not even freaky deaky like that, and they're getting AIDS. We're talking about biological warfare. Yeah, there's some dog shit that needs to stop, my brother. I gotta spit it out because motherfuckers need to be exposed. The freaking US government, the freaking Illuminati, Bilderberg, and all these bitches, their system is falling, and they're afraid that, oh, the World Health Organization, World Health, more like the World Massacre Organization. They're not about health. They're about massacring motherfuckers. These bitches. But suffice it to say, a white woman literally with only two men. What's the big deal? And when you really look at it, Women can literally sexually go on forever because the vagina is a literal living entity herself. But and a man can only give so much of his energy to a woman. So yeah, but you're telling me this woman couldn't even end up with either one of those two men, and she was already like connected with them in that sense? And don't talk to me about, don't even get me started about marriage. Like, oh boy, marriage, man. Ooh, people who people who literally would rather only have a sex doll because like any man or any woman could literally just get up no matter how much you love them and respect them. See, when it comes to women, as a man, all I could say is shout out to Dr. Yosef Ben Yokanan for that one. I don't need you to love me. I just need you to respect me. Know my role as a man and know your role as a woman. When we can come on that higher understanding and overstanding, we could hardly have any problems whatsoever. But you see, many men nowadays, you can't really blame them for wanting to have a relationship with just a sex doll. He has a sex doll and he don't want to get into no relationship with women, or maybe people are so reclusive they just don't want to interact with people, period, because too many people are fucked in their minds in this society, my brother. So yeah, until people really elevate themselves spiritually, mentally, and that emotionally they can fix themselves, yeah, that's the only time we can see this society really start to function properly on the human level, because what they've been doing these past 100 years alone, they've brought humans lower than animals. They've brought humans lower than freaking animals. But again, black men, I don't feel, it really doesn't look like they were created for monogamous relationships. That's a bunch of dog shit. The white man, remember, during transatlantic slave trade times, he realized that when a man was still together with his six, seven, eight wives or whatever the number, he realized that the babies were being born too fast, too fast, too fast. They were being born too freaking fast. So he realized, oh, that cracker, he realized, nah, he gotta freaking stop. He gotta, nah, I'm separating all you motherfuckers. I'm separating you. I'm selling her to this motherfucker. I'm selling her to this motherfucker. Batteries not included. Shout out to Young Pharaoh on that one. But jeez, like you could imagine the pain and the trauma that our people had to go through with these motherfuckers. But all of that is just a blip in our history, my brother. For thousands of cycles, we had great civilizations and whatnot. I'm telling you, yo, the women, you could argue that they were literally treated with way more respect back in ancient civilizations, even though, yeah, we do know that when it comes to the masculine and the feminine energies, they have to combine. You can't put the woman over the man and you can't put the man over the woman. Well, with patriarchy, we know that for sure because, yeah, with women being treated like absolute dog shit, yeah, households are crumbling and are just not stable. But suffice it to say, my brother, yeah, any last words, any last experiences that you would like to share or anything? Because bro, yeah, we've had a good time today, and honestly, we got to do it another time soon. Like, it's too much information that people have to do their own research and really see what's going on. Just look at this society and see how sick it is. Shout out to Jiddu Krishnamurti. Ain't It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. Take it away, my brother.
Oh yeah, I'll just end off with these like statements like the for like the mono is definitely like the Western society because of like the Planned Parenthood and like controlled population, and they just trying to depopulate the planet. And then poly as well, like you can just like keep producing and like, with multiple men or with multiple women because you can just keep going. And then like respect over love because like what most people be going through, they lost respect of like the other, like of men or in general or like of women in general. So like it's all based on their past. So if they haven't healed from the past and got to that root cause, then they just gonna take all the pain is and then into that new relationship of like all that pain and suffering. So they just don't even respect the other person and what they believe in or like what they view of their culture and everything like that. And then we're definitely not meant to be with just one being forever because we're free beings. We're we can do whatever we want because it's just like a video game. So like you can ask any man out there like if they can have one loyal woman that they can always come back home with, but at throughout the day they can mess with other women. I bet most men would say yes, they would do that because they can start building dynasties and empires with multiple people and build community instead of just having building a community with just like that one other person. And then
Bro, yeah, stay on that same knowledge, my brother. Shout out to Bobby Hemmett on that, which is exactly why you see capitalism. You see these isms, these fucking isms gotta be destroyed. Capitalism, socialism. What do they call that other one? Capitalism, socialism, Marxist. There's another one, but you know what it is I'm saying. Freaking yeah, capitalism, socialism, and all these damn ism, communism. Yeah, these isms have to all be freaking destroyed, my brother, because capitalism is banking on the individual. Capitalism thrives on the individual. Capitalism does not it is terrified of people coming together to create an empire. Just imagine if you had 4 or 5 wives alone. Y'all came together, and I'm not talking about no sexual nonsense. Y'all come together to literally build that empire. Yo, you are literally stomping capitalism to the ground because these motherfuckers, yo, you literally overcoming their system, which is exactly why this is a monogamous society and people don't look at it. People don't look at it like that. So, yo, I respect I respect Bobby Hemmett so much. People really gotta turn to his old lectures to really see all that he has to say because that brother, yo, he let spirit use him, and that's how we gotta do it, my brother. Spirit use that brother. Spirit continues to use all of our different brothers and sisters who literally aren't afraid to share the truth for what it is. That's exactly why that beast. Because remember, when that beast came, they wanted to they had to set up all these isms to ensure that modern slavery was still in full effect. They had to make sure that modern slavery was still in full effect because if it's only one individual, then yeah, you're literally just freely letting them siphon your power away. But
oh, I think your audio might be.
is he literally a good man or is he just a total fuckboy? But suffice it to say, the woman is the ground, the man is the fertilizer. When they both come together, they bear fruit, which is what the children are. Fruit. We are the future. The children are not the future. The children have to learn from us in turn when their time comes to take over. That's literally when they become the future. We are the future. Capitalism relies on the individual, which is why monogamy is even a thing. Because even though you had monogamous relationships for what, cycles and cycles now, the reality of it all is polygamous relationships were always mostly based off of business and building stable empires and family structures. And capitalism hates that, which is exactly why no matter what our women, they need to come to realize that, yo, they can be with as many men as they want to, because if I'm not mistaken, you could look in ancient civilizations. It actually started with the woman having multiple husbands before patriarchy came and changed it with a man having multiple wives. The reality of it all is it goes way beyond the sex. It was always from the business standpoint, and capitalism hates that, which is why they're only down with monogamy. This is what all other women, so-called white women, so-called Asian women, so-called Indian, but actually the Arab women know that. They know that, even though the Muslim religion, the Islam is literally just, yeah, again, it's Islam. Enough said. Enough said. But yeah, my brother, like literally, capitalism, these isms, they need to be freaking destroyed because, yeah, these are part of the 7 pillars, and these motherfuckers need to be brought to the ground completely so that people can start from scratch. And like you perfectly said, we're spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. I plan to on making this my last incarnation. So even if I had like what, I don't know, freaking 7 wives, 8 wives, that shouldn't be a big deal to y'all because it's literally me and those 7 women. We are our own empire. You can build your own empire. Heck, there are way more women in society everywhere you go around the world than men. So what's the problem if a man were to literally come together with a woman or like multiple women or a woman comes with multiple men to create an empire. We're looking at it from the business standpoint, and that's exactly why capitalism is a piece of shit. It is literally just a few steps away from being communism, literally. But bro, yo, I really wish people could see the message for what it is. Don't take my word for it. Do the research, as I always say. When you hear the information, do the research, but please keep an open mind and know the truth for yourself because, bro, these motherfuckers are already exposing themselves for who they really are. The beast is showing us who they really are. So, how much more can we really do the research and continue to see just how much we've been under their bullshit for too long? Nah, this is where it ends and this is where it stops. Period.
Yeah, and the last things I would say is like the viewpoint of relationships is all through like Western society. So it's not just like, oh, just like two people come together to have like sex and have a baby and then like two picket fence and whatnot. It's not
Nah,
like that.
that's
It's
some
like,
lame. That's the lame fairy tale bullshit that they always want to put. And think about it: these so-called rich celebrities and these motherfuckers, they're way beyond that, my brother. It's just like what conscious brethren, even on the physical level, be saying: rules for thee and none for me. They want to enforce these rules upon us when these motherfuckers they don't even follow the rules that they force upon us. The absolute sheer hypocrisy of these dog ass motherfuckers.
oh yeah, definitely. It's like we have to start viewing these like relationships as like business partners because it's really just business at the end of the day between two spirits. And then like spirit can talk to through anyone as well. So like you never know when the truth gonna come from anyone because spirit can speak to anyone. And then that's why women also into like Western society because they all just focus on the mono, and they always hate poly and be so defensive and triggered, but they don't really see the bigger picture. And then for like the wedding, government's just like telling you that you can't mess with other people. So it's just like now not only you can't do it, now the government is watching over you and watching who you mess with too. So it's just like everything is for a reason in this Western society just to keep you stuck.
And remember back when President Kennedy, before he was assassinated, he literally they were making a big deal about when he was with Marilyn Monroe. But honestly, who's to say that Marilyn Monroe was the only woman that he even had a relationship with? Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Oh yeah, it's just like everything is just for Western society, and we just have to move past this like thought process of it and just like create our own thoughts of what we want to experience because we can create our own reality within our minds that can manifest through the spiritual and the physical realm too.
Yeah, man. Well, bro, what can I say? It's been more than an honor. It's been more than a pleasure. Like, man, you really killed it. You literally like that was how many grand slams you hit today. Like, I'm telling you, you
Oh,
probably
you
blew
was
out the
there
other
too,
team.
man. You was
Yeah,
you
like,
was dropping the
bro,
gems, bro.
yo, bro, I'm telling you, it was like a blowout of 24 to freaking three.
Oh, no.
Ah.
Yeah, but I appreciate you coming on too. I appreciate it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, man, bro.
I gotta show you the thing though. So
Uh-huh.
the my boys Solo Tone is coming up, and you know your boy got a gift for him,
No
and
big deal, people. No big deal. No big deal. Just a solar return. Yeah, yeah, just a solar return. Yeah, much appreciated, my brother. Let's
oh,
see what it is.
oh yeah, so I probably post the last live that we did on Friday, and then post this one on like Wednesday, I think. But it's already out, and it's right here, which is How to Overcome Apocalyptic Events by yours truly.
Wow, a book.
Yeah, boy.
Whoa.
Yo, I had
Oh,
to do it, bro.
jeez. Wow. Much appreciation, my brother.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I can either like send you the ebook or like the audio book or like paper or like hardcover or if it's easy or just send it like the ebook or something like that. And then if you want to send it to anyone else, I have like a link for it so they can buy it.
Wow. Bro, I more than appreciate it, my brother. If anything, if yeah, I think send me the hardcover. Send me the hardcover.
Okay, I'll just
Send me the hardcover. Don't worry. I'll share with you after the live is over. I'll give you the exact address you could send it to because to actually have the book itself in my hand, yeah, that nothing would beat that feeling. Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. It comes out on Friday, so it should be
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, my brother. I look forward to it. I look forward to it. I look forward to it. Yeah, man, brother. Yo, after the live, don't worry. After the live, I'm a definitely discuss it with you, and yeah, we'll know how we're gonna get through with this for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, I got you, Grant.
Anyway, bro, any last comments to the brethren before we close off?
Hold on real fast. You can keep talking to the people.
Yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, brother. So yeah, people gotta learn to do their own research. People gotta learn to do their own research. They gotta learn to what they would call meditate, but in reality, it's going into a trance. People gotta learn to start going into a trance a lot more. People gotta learn to really tap back into their true self. People gotta learn to really start seeing, opening their spiritual eyes and start to see reality for what it truly is. Because, bro, this system, it's collapsing. We can clearly see it's collapsing, and there's no need to be attached, to be connected, to be hooked onto a system that we know is inevitably going to fall. So, yeah, people really need to be aware of what's going on. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Stock up on food, stock up on water, but especially where food is concerned, learn to start fasting. Learn to give your body a break. Learn to start fasting because really, the less you connect yourself, the more detached you are with the physical world, you're only doing your true self a bigger favor because that way you're even telling the physical body, hey, I run things. I'm not you. I'm only connected to you insofar as having to deal with this physical world, but you're not who I really am. Take a back seat. It's really the true spiritual being who's running the show here.
Oh yeah, don't let your ego tell you one thing, but you disregard your intuition. So you definitely have to like listen to your intuition. And my bad for all you though.
Right, right. Anyway, brother, yo, I more than appreciate you. We're gonna definitely do this another time. By the way, the last live we did, you had already posted it? Because I don't
Oh,
recall.
for that one, I'm gonna post it on Friday, and then I'll post this one on next Wednesday.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Oh, that's what you said. Okay, not a problem, my brother, not a problem. But hey, bro, we'll keep in touch. We'll keep in touch, and we'll definitely discuss the gift. I more than appreciate it. We'll definitely know how we're gonna deal with that. Yeah. Any last words to the brethren before we close off?
Oh, nah, it's just like we listen to this podcast. If you haven't like haven't known about something, and make sure you just do your own research, and we keep elevating. That's about it.
Indeed, indeed. Because I don't need no followers. I don't care if you end up knowing more than me. Once you know more than me, I've done my work. Once any other brother or sister or whoever, once I once I help them to literally rediscover who they are, that they could do the research and literally elevate into greater beings, I've done my work. Y'all can elevate past me, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm not from this realm. I'm not of this realm. I'm only experiencing this realm. But this is not my home. And honestly speaking, it's about time that we really get back to this knowledge of who we truly are. And like the ancients say, To know thyself is to know God. Plain and simple.
Oh yeah, big facts. Appreciate you coming on and all your wise words, man.
Man, bro, yo, you just got to get back to knowing who you really are as an individual. And that's all I can say. Indeed, keep an open mind, but be aware of who you allow into your life because they could either help you to elevate or they're literally only just a distraction. And true self knows that we don't need any damn distractions because we've already got too much that we got to deal with now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Stay focused.
Bro, peace, peace, and we'll keep in touch.
Oh yeah, peace out, man.